How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Frosty the Snowman. This is from 1969 and is directed by Arthur Rankin Jr. and Jules Bass. So yes, a Rankin Bass animated Christmas special. They did a bunch of these things, and a lot of them would wind up being classics like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I am super happy that they recently put out this Blu-ray set with all the original Christmas ones. This is really cool. I was so glad to pick this thing up. Anyway, this movie stars Jackie Vernon, June Foray, Billy DeWolf, and Jimmy Durante as the narrator, and is based on the song by Steve Nelson and Jack Rollins. Now, a few things that are kind of different about this movie. One, this is actually a 2D animated movie. A lot of people know Rankin and Bass for their 3D stop motion stuff, which I probably do prefer a bit more, but this is actually 2D and it still works pretty well. Lots of nice big blocks of soft color, and it does mimic their style a fair bit with the big blocky character designs. Overall, it's just very pleasing to look at. Really just has a Christmassy feel behind it. And it's also only about 25-ish minutes long, so it's on the shorter side. A lot of them fit into hour time blocks, some of them half hour, and this is one of the half-hour ones. Personally, I don't mind it too much because I feel like when you watch these animated specials, you know, this and Snoopy and a few other ones, you kind of want to make a big block out of it and go through several of them. So yeah, it's short, and if you were just watching Frosty the Snowman, that would be a little bit quick, but usually you'll be watching this in a marathon. But overall, I really do like it. They do a good job of adapting the song and hitting all the key points and getting that in there, and it's a nice, simple adventure. Take Frosty, get him to the North Pole before he melts, and you're gonna be chased by an evil magician. It's really simple, but overall, really fun and joyous, you know? You want to watch a Christmas movie to get into that Christmas spirit, you know? Something that is admittedly sometimes quite hard to find, but I feel like a good movie like this that's so simple, so classic, so colorful, and really gets that right mood down, this is going to be something that will quite quickly make you feel like Christmas, get you in the spirit, and it really is a cool one. So I always find that whenever you do that block of the shorter Christmas specials, this is a good one to throw in there. Not as good as Rudolph, but still pretty fun. Let's go ahead and analyze the plot for a bit. I'll try to avoid major spoilers, but that being said, it's a kid's one. It's not that complicated of a plot, but I do want to analyze a few things, and some of these will be gripes coming from an adult's perspective. Nothing that really holds the movie down, but is a little silly. But let's take a moment and talk about the finer points. We open up with the narrator introducing us to the story and saying that this is the first snow of the year and it's on Christmas Eve. You know, I talked about adult gripes. Where in the world do you live that the first snow of the year is all the way back in late December, yet it still comes in so big and fluffy? Don't need to think about it. The kids are also in school. Again, adult gripe. Where do they go to school that they're in school all the way up to Christmas Eve? Again, don't think about it. But the kids just want to go outside and play in the snow, and they're all staring at the window, and the teacher's like, no, we have a magician, and you're going to go watch, I think it's Professor Hinkle, and he, of course, really sucks. And I do, you know, it is honest, and it's been this way since '69, apparently. The kids just want to go outside and play. They want to do their own thing, and even when the school tries to do something nice for them, it's gonna pan out pretty lame. But after failing several of his magic tricks, the magician discards his magic hat in a fit of anger, and school gets let out and the kids go play. They build a snowman, they roll the body up, and Karen, the main girl, is going to go make the head, what she says is the hardest part, but it's a much smaller ball. I guess if she was gathering all the face stuff, but whatever. They put the head on, and even before the magic hat, Frosty magically grows arms and legs. That happened in a cut and was never explained, but yeah, two balls cut to two balls with arms and legs. He's much more fully formed. Something happened between the cut, but again, don't think about it. And they get the magic hat to put it on his head, and Frosty will say, "Happy birthday," to himself, and he'll eventually have a bit of an existential crisis going, wait, I'm alive? Is this real? How can a snowman possibly be alive? Fun stuff there. Again, we can overanalyze this as an adult, like, what would happen if we took Frosty's hat off and put it on another thing? Is it his consciousness tied to the hat? Or would it be a completely different life? And if so, once you make a second life with this hat, only one of them can exist at once. That's crazy. Is it just Snowman? Or if I went down to a bronze statue in the park, would that thing come alive if I put the hat on it? Don't think about this too hard. And what about Sam Snowman and Rudolph? He also had a hat. Is it a different but similar hat? Don't think about it. But anyway, the children will do part of the song. They, of course, have to stop before the narrative hasn't caught up with it yet, you know? But we get the whole corncob pipe and button nose as explained in the song. And I always thought Frosty had a carrot nose, but then I'm like, no, it's a button. A surprisingly large button with no holes in it. And also, you know when this movie's eventually gonna get remade, because of course it's eventually gonna get remade. Probably an hour-and-a-half long movie in 3D from DreamWorks, but you know that when this movie gets remade, that corncob pipe's gonna disappear. It's gonna be with a great big smile and a button nose, because we can't promote tobacco or anything, you know? But anyway, seeing the magician's hat brought it to life. He wants his hat back now, and will steal it, but his magic rabbit will change sides and give the hat back to the kids, and the narrator will even step in and say, the hat belongs to Frosty and the kids. It's not stealing, it's theirs. And actually, surprisingly legally, once you discard something, once it's in the trash, you really do lose your rights to that possession. So the kids are actually in the right. The difficult part would be with Frosty not being a human and in turn having less legal rights, but that's where you really need to say that it's Karen's hat, but whatever. Being chased by the magician, and also it's getting warm, which literally the snow just fell. How far south are they? Whatever. It's getting warm, and they have to run away. A fair bit of fun sequences there. They try to go on the train, but they have no money because they're kids, so they're going to walk, and Frosty will slide through the snow. And I really do like, we get a dichotomy here, because wherever it's cold enough for Frosty to live, it'll be too cold for Karen to live, so they have to find warmth and coldness, and they don't really have the ability to coexist in each other's spaces for too long. I think that's a really interesting idea. And I, of course, won't spoil the ending. But that being said, this is a Christmas movie where they're trying to go to the North Pole. I think we can figure this out. But it's overall a really fun movie. I love that Frosty the Snowman is a big, happy guy, and he just wants what's best for people. And he'll walk through the streets in a big parade, singing the Frosty the Snowman song, and just how much that song gets in there, and how much they constantly use it. This is just a really just joyous little classic thing, and it's only 25 minutes, so you can pop it on whenever. And it really is a good thing to get you in that Christmas spirit. It's a classic for a reason, and that song is going to be playing in your head over and over and over again. Anyway, I want to get to a few of these during Christmas season. There's 18 movies in here, which is quite a bit. But anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Christmas playlist. I don't necessarily do family-friendly stuff all the time, so there's a lot of Christmas horror movies in here if you want to see me talk about some of those, but there are other classics and stuff. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.